Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm doing a one brand makeup tutorial using Flower Beauty products. And I just recently bought the foundation and concealer, their Light Illusion foundation and concealer, and I have been in love. I was super excited to pick up some of their products and get to test them out for you guys. So if you would like to see how to do this makeup look or just know my thoughts on all these Flower Beauty products, just keep on watching and I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Today I am so excited to do this video for you all. So I went ahead and moisturized my face off camera and I just used my typical, my First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer and my Biore sunscreen in SPF 50+. So I'll link those down below for you guys. I'm going to start off with the eyes first because I'm going to be using this palette. This is one of their newer eyeshadow palettes. This is the Sugar Rush, which I just think the colors in this are so pretty for spring and summer. So they have another one, it's like more yellows, but I've really been into like these pinky, purple, mauve kind of tones lately. So I'm gonna be using this. Now, I picked up these Flower Beauty products at Walmart, and here where I live in Kentucky, there's not too many places that actually carry Flower Beauty. So like the two Ultas that I have around me don't carry Flower Beauty. The only place that carries it is like one Walmart in my area. So I was kind of limited on the products that I could pick up, and they did not have their eyeshadow primer at Walmart. But I do know that Flower Beauty does sell an eyeshadow primer, and you can buy that off of Flower Beauty's website, or I think Ulta has it on their website as well. So I'm just gonna prime my eyes with this Catrice Cosmetics eyeshadow primer. So there's gonna be a few items in this that I don't have, but pretty much everything is Flower Beauty. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my Sigma P84, I think. Yeah, P84 brush. You could also just use your finger if you'd rather, if you don't have a brush. It's just easier for me to just use a brush. And then this is what the colors look like in the palette. Like, I'm so curious about this shade right here. I just think that's really pretty. And I feel like the little brush that comes in this palette is actually pretty nice. Like, it's a pretty decent little blending brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. And first, I'm just gonna go in the crease with this shade right here. And I'm actually gonna use the little brush that came in this palette so we can see how it works. And this color is pretty pigmented. I tried to just get a little bit on the brush just because I know for me this is going to be kind of a darker transition shade. That's the only thing. I wish that this little palette maybe had one other lighter, you know, matte transition color. I think this shade is going to work for me, but like I said, it's a little bit like it's borderline, almost too dark. So I'm just blending that all in the crease. And also here in the outer V. And I do find that this little brush works well for blending. I'm just gonna go in the crease with a clean blending brush just to make sure that that's blended out a little more. Now I think I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna go in with this shade for the outer V. And then I'm just going in with that purple, just here in the outer V. And I might do more of a halo look, because sometimes for me I feel like my eyeshadow looks are just kind of all the same, like the same technique. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that purple and just pat it right here in the inner kind of corner area. And take it up into the crease a little bit. I'm just going to leave that middle area free from this eyeshadow. And then to make that purple shade a little bit more precise in my crease, I'm just going in with my Sigma E45 brush. It's just kind of like a pointed blending brush. And it just focuses the color more in the crease. A lot of times I feel like this brush is like a must-have for halo eyeshadow looks. or anytime you want your crease to be more defined. I'm just gonna pop some of this color here in the middle, like on the center of my eyelid. And I'm just using my e.l.f. concealer brush. I mean, if you wanted to be extremely precise with this, you could always use concealer and like really cut out the halo, you know? But I'm not really worried about it being super, super precise. This is a really pretty color. Then on top of that shade, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this. I just flip this brush over. And I'm actually gonna use some of their setting spray with that shadow because I want it to be more intense. It's almost more of like a topper sort of eyeshadow. But it is a unique color. It's really pretty. And then I want to darken up the outer V a little more, so I'm going to go in with this shade. And I'm just using my Sigma E25 blending. Just kind of patting it out here. Taking it up to the crease a little bit. And then I'm also going to put just a little bit of that right in here. I'm gonna clean up underneath my eyes and clean the edge up here before I do my foundation. And I'm just gonna use these Almay makeup remover wipes. I do find that these Almay wipes are very gentle around your eye area. Or at least they're gentle around mine. And my skin is sensitive to everything. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner. I did not see any liquid liner from Flower Beauty. They may have some, but I didn't see any at Walmart. But this is the Longwear eyeliner, and this is in the shade Brownstone. And it's one of those roll-up eyeliners. I just thought that brown might be a little bit more flattering with this than black. Though I'm wearing black today, so... Which I feel like with this look, you wouldn't necessarily even have to do liner. But I'm just gonna do a really just small line, just right at the lash line, just to kind of darken it up a little bit. I do like this shade of brown. It's like a good dark, like black and brown color. Okay, then for primers, they had this one, which is the In Your Prime Pore Minimizing Primer. They also had one that was a hydrating primer, and they also have an illuminating primer. Now, at the Walmart that I went to, they only had this one and the hydrating one, and I thought that the hydrating one was probably illuminating, but after I got home and like checked Flower Beauty's website, I realized that that one was just like a moisturizing primer. And since I, you know, have the Light Illusion foundation and their illuminating powder that I'm gonna be trying today, I didn't want something that was gonna be even more illuminating, so that's why I didn't get the hydrating one. But if I would have realized that it was just hydrating and not like shimmery, I probably would have gotten that one. But I think this one might work well for me. I mean, because like with a dewy product, it is good to minimize your pores because it can kind of emphasize them a little bit. So, and this is like a green sort of tinted primer. It doesn't really, it kind of smells a little bit like alcohol, I feel like, but it's very faint. Like you almost don't even smell it. Which I'm almost wondering, no, it's not from the makeup remover wipe. So I guess this might have a little bit of alcohol in it. I don't know. It feels really nice going on, like it feels really smooth. And it does feel hydrating. And then for the foundation, I'm going to be using the Light Illusion. You guys know that I love this. This is illuminating makeup. It says luminous makeup, nude skin feel, all day wear. And I do feel like this lasts all day on me. Like I've worn this to work and it lasts all day at work. The only complaint that I have about this is I wish that they had a better color selection. I know that you guys told me that they have a shade under this, and I did look at that whenever I went to Walmart to get the rest of these products, and that is a little too light for me. So I need something that's more neutral than anything. So it's like either the shades are like too yellowy or too kind of warm. I don't really know how to explain it. They just need something that's a little bit more neutral, kind of like my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 202 Creamy Natural. Like I need a shade more like that, or like my Revlon Color Stay in Buff. So, and I'm just using the Flower Beauty sponge to blend this out. I know that Flower Beauty has come out with like a new sponge, a newer sponge. It's like their Precision makeup sponge or something like that. The first time that April and we went to that Walmart like a couple of weeks ago when I got the foundation and the concealer, they had that sponge. But whenever we went back the other day to get the rest of these products, it was sold out. So unfortunately, I was unable to get that sponge, so I just picked up this one, and I have used this Flower Beauty sponge before, and it's one of my favorites. I do really enjoy it. I would say my only complaint is that it's kind of big, but I do love it. It's very soft. It blends out makeup really nice. I feel like the coverage on this foundation is more of like a light to medium, like you can build it up to medium coverage. I don't find it to be like a super full coverage foundation, which I'm fine with. I think it looks beautiful. This is their Light Illusion concealer, and this is in the shade Fair L1-2. I don't even know if I said the shade of the foundation, but this was Porcelain L1. The one underneath of this is Shell L0. See what I'm saying? Like with the sponge, it's like hard to blend out concealer with it. It needs to be like a little bit more tapered on the end. That's why I feel like that newer sponge would probably be great for like blending out concealer. But I love this concealer, the Light Illusion. It's very illuminating and hydrating. The only thing is you have to be careful not to use too much of it, or it can have a tendency to want to settle into fine lines. But it is a really beautiful concealer. And I know it's kind of weird because like in the tube, or even when you swatch this concealer, it looks kind of dark. But once you get it on your under eyes, like it just looks bright and illuminating. So I don't know exactly how that works, but it works. So, but they could, you know, have some lighter shades in that concealer, because I know for some people this probably is not light enough. Okay, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of this concealer to like the end of my nose. But yeah, I've really been enjoying the concealer and the foundation. All the other products that I'm using today, this is the first time that I've used them. So this is kind of like a first impressions as well as a one brand tutorial. And I'll fix my eyes once I get my foundation and everything set. Okay, this I am so curious about, and this is their Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. Minimizes the appearance of imperfections and gives an ambient glow. So I mean, I know that the packaging is kind of big and bulky on this, but at the same time, I kind of like it. I think it's really pretty. And you guys know I'm all about that glow. I did swatch this last night, and it does have like little tiny like sparkles in it. But once I blended it out on my hand, I really couldn't see them. It just kind of illuminated my hand. Like, let me blend this out. Like, I don't know, it just kind of gave my hand just like a diffused kind of glow. So I'm curious to see what this is gonna look like on the face. And I don't know, like with this foundation, if it's gonna be too much, since this foundation is already like an illuminating foundation, but we shall see. I'm just kind of tapping some of it in the lid, and I'm just applying this with my e.l.f. powder brush. Now I know that Flower Beauty recently came out with some makeup brushes, and I debated getting those because they had them at Walmart, but honestly, I have so many makeup brushes in my collection, I just couldn't really justify getting those. And I know it's like, well, you've got a lot of foundations in your collection, but I don't know. It's like, I just didn't want to buy those. But yeah, they do have those, and they looked really nice. So, I mean, I feel like that powder blended in really nice, and I do feel like it kind of even made it more like diffused. And then I am going to try some of this powder on my under eyes to see how that goes. And I'm just going to use my Real Techniques setting brush to set that. I mean, it looks like on first application of it, it looks fine. It doesn't look cakey or dry or anything, so that's good. First impressions, I do really like this. I'm definitely gonna be using this, and I will update you guys on this powder, let you know what I think about it, because I definitely wanna try it with some more matte foundations to see if it makes those foundations look a little bit more dewy, just how I wanna see how it works with other products. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and finish the eyes, and then I'll finish the rest of the face. So I'm just gonna take this Real Techniques blending brush, and I'm just going to lightly diffuse this outer corner, because it's like I kind of want the edge to be defined, but not as defined as it is. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade on the lower lash line, and I'm just using my Sigma Pencil E30 brush to smudge that. I just want this to look extra smoky today. And then I'm just going back with a blending brush and just kind of blending that out. I don't know, this might be a mistake, so we're gonna see how this goes, but I wanna grab some of this shade and use that in my inner corner. And then for my mascara, I picked up the Lash Warrior mascara, which I have been so interested to try this mascara out for a while now. I've heard good things about it, so hopefully it lives up to the hype. The brush on this kind of reminds me of my Maybelline Lash Sensational, but a little like larger. Kind of like the Lash Blast by CoverGirl, but it's kind of curved. So I'm just going to curl my lashes up, and then I'm going to apply that mascara. Okay, it does seem separating. With the second coat, it looks like it's giving it a little bit more volume and length. And I was debating on whether I wanted to put anything in my waterline, but I think I'm gonna go in with their pencil liner that I used on my upper lash line and also run some of this in my waterline. I'm gonna zoom y'all back out again. And for the brows, the only brow product that they had at the Walmart that I was at is their eyebrow pencil crayon. And I know that they have like a newer product. I think it's like a powder, maybe like a wax or something. They did not have that. And I also saw on Ulta that they do have a brow gel, which I didn't see that either. So this was the only brow product that my Walmart had, like I said, and they had this in a couple of different shades. They had it in blonde, kind of like a medium brown, and like a dark brown, and they may have had one even darker than that, but I ended up just getting the blonde. I didn't know if like the medium brown would be too dark. I don't know, sometimes it's always hard to tell with brow products if I need like the lightest or the second shade up. And it comes with a little spoolie on one end and a little cap to cover that up. I'm just going to comb through my brows first, which I guess I should use the little brush that it came with. Okay, I think I may have been able to get the darker one, but I don't know. This seems like it's okay. Like, I mean, that's what it looks like swatched. It's definitely a more like cool toned blonde like pencil. I know sometimes with like blonde pencils they can go kind of warm. This one definitely looks taupey and cool toned. Almost kind of has like a greenish tint or like an olive undertone. I think this works pretty good. I mean, I feel like it's hard for me to tell with brow products because my eyebrows are microbladed. I mean, it seemed really soft and the pencil is not like a super skinny pencil. So if you're one of those people that likes a very precise brow pencil, this probably isn't the product for you. But if you like something that can just do your brows fast, I feel like that would be a good brow pencil for that. So since I didn't get the brow gel because they didn't have it at my Walmart, I'm just going to use my Benefit Gimme Brow to set my brows in place. Now moving on to the rest of the face. So for the bronzer, I picked up their Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer in Sunrise L1. Now I noticed when I got this, like I swatched this the day that I picked it up, and it has almost like an overlay layer on it where it seems really cool toned, but once you swatch it and get that layer off, it is a little more warm toned than what it looks in the product itself. I was really surprised when I swatched it, but I think it's still gonna be a good color. So I'm just gonna use my Morphe M437 brush. Hopefully this isn't too precise. My other brush, I need to clean it in a, I don't know, maybe I'll use my other one. I'll just kind of wipe it off. This is the Morphe M530 brush. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a lot more warm toned on, but I don't think it looks bad. And it seems pretty pigmented, so you don't need to get too much on your brush at first. Better just to kind of dip it and then kind of dab it on the back of your hand. I mean, it seems maybe like a little powdery, maybe a little, I don't know, like it seems like it's blending okay, but I feel like this might be one of those bronzers that rubs off easily and could get like kind of patchy throughout the day. So I'll have to let you guys know, like keep you guys updated on this. I mean, the tone isn't necessarily bad. It is, like I said, a little more warm toned than what you would expect it to be. And even though it says that it's a luminous bronzer, like it doesn't look glittery. So I think the bronzer's okay. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, you have to get this. Like, I love my Milani bronzer so much more than this. So that's just an okay product. Now the next thing that I picked up is one of their blushes. This is one of their flower pots, and this is in the color Sweet Pea. And my friend April, she always talks about this blush, and this definitely looks like a blush color that I would use on a daily basis. Like, it's a very just pretty, like, cool toned mauve. And I know that Flower Beauty has some other blush products, but this was the only the only blush that they had at the Walmart that I was at. So I'm just going to apply this with the R10. And honestly, like, I had a hard time picking out the blush color because there were so many. Like, I feel like any of these blush pots or the flower pots would be good. Like, I feel like I would like all of the shades, but I decided to go with this one since it was more neutral, and since this palette that I was going to use had more colors in it and stuff, I wanted something more neutral that wasn't going to take away from the eyeshadows. Yeah, I love this blush color, and this is a matte blush. I love the packaging on this. Like, it's very like sleek and small, and it just looks pretty. I really do like her packaging on the makeup. It is very like classic and pretty. I love like the white and the rose gold. And I think this product here, this is their Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, and this is in the color SP1, which is like their lighter one. I think this is like for light to medium skin, or just maybe fair to light. I'm not sure. I know that she has one that's a little darker. I'm not sure how new this is, but I know this is one of her newer products. It may have come out the same time as the eyeshadows. And I'm sorry if you can hear a lawnmower because somebody's cutting the grass. So I feel like I could go with any of these shades and they would be beautiful. Like, I want to use this because this is like the typical shade I would normally reach for, but in some ways I kind of want to use that because I did such a like a pink and purple type of look. But I'm going to go in with this shade first, the very first color. Okay, yeah, that is a very intense highlight. So I would say use a light hand with it. And I know when I swatched this, it looked beautiful swatched. Like, it's one of those highlights that you can tell like wouldn't show a lot of texture because it almost has like a duochrome sort of, like, not duochrome, but like a, I don't know, kind of like how Becca highlights kind of have like that shift to them. So when you look straight on, it just blends in with your skin. But then when you turn to the side, you can see the highlight. So it doesn't look, you know, ashy on the skin. But yeah, that is a gorgeous highlight. It's so pretty. I'm really impressed by that. It kind of reminds me of like my CoverGirl, the True Blend Super Stunner palette. Except for I think this shows even less texture than that palette does. I kind of want to go in with just a little bit of the pink on top of this so I can kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, that definitely gives your skin like a really pretty luminous glow. I'm going to put a little bit of it here on my Cupid's bow and a little bit on my nose as well. And I might go back and kind of touch up the blush a little bit. Like, sometimes I even like to do the highlight first and then my blush just so things blend better. And then I'm going to go ahead and mist my face with the setting spray, and I ended up picking up the hydrating setting spray. She has one that's like a matte, and I didn't want this to look matte, so, and you guys know I'm all about that glow, so I decided to get this. So I really like the sprayer on this. It's a very like fine mist. Like, it's even more fine than like my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Very lightweight. And it almost like dries instantly. I guess because the mist is so fine. It smells really fresh. Like it has a little bit of a floral scent to it, but it's not like an overpowering like floral scent. It smells nice. Okay, the last thing is the lips. And I ended up getting 2 different lip products. I got one of her matte liquid lips, Miracle Matte Lip. And this is in the color Bare Honey. And then I also picked up one of her like cream lipsticks. And this is in the color Spiced Petal. Which I do feel like Spiced Petal is a little darker. I kind of want to use the matte one just because I am really curious about this formula. So I'm going to take this foundation off my lips and then we'll go in with this. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of a lip conditioner underneath this liquid lipstick. My camera just cut off. So now I'm just going in with the liquid lipstick. Okay, I might actually apply a lip liner with this. I might wipe this off because it's like a very light nude, and I feel like for me, I need some definition around my lip line. So I know this isn't Flower Beauty, and I think she does have some lip liners, but once again, they didn't have any at the Walmart where it was at. So I'm just using this Rimmel lip liner in Addiction. Now I'm going back in with liquid lipstick. So I'm definitely gonna have to see how this wears throughout the day because I feel like this might be a little too drying and a little too light for me. But I know that I really like the lipstick because I did try this the other day and I think this is a pretty color. I really liked the formula. But I am curious to see how this liquid lipstick wears, which I'll probably end up putting a gloss over top of it just because that's what I normally do with liquid lipsticks. But I do like the shade of this with this makeup look because it doesn't take away from the eyes. I really liked a lot of these products today and I love the foundation. I just think it is so beautiful. I was really impressed by the eyeshadow palette and by the highlighting palette. I love the blush and the setting powder. So there were so many things that I really liked from Flower Beauty. So you guys will have to let me know down in the comments what other things I should get and try out from Flower Beauty. I also have like one of their Warrior glitter shadows in Balm, which is like the yellow gold color. I picked that up at an Ulta in Cincinnati once. So I do really like that product as well, but I didn't want to use that today because I really wanted to just use that palette. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up so I know to film more one brand makeup tutorials, and you'll have to let me know down in the comments like what other one brand tutorial you guys would like to see. I'll try to link the other one brand tutorials that I have done down below if you haven't seen those yet. Make sure that you turn on your notifications so you will know as soon as I post a new video. But I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye. Mwah.